I want to talk to you about the tipping point in languages. Um, why is it that so many people, at least so many people in America, say things like, yeah, I took a couple of years of Spanish or French in high school, but I really don't speak it at all. I can't use it in any meaningful way at this point. I can say, where's the bathroom? And the dog is on the table, and that kind of thing. Uh, why are we so, in general, so unsuccessful? Almost everyone takes some foreign language, but very few people can say that they're fluent, that they're happy with it, satisfied with how much they can use that language. This has to do with the tipping point. There's something really unique, something special about the relationship between English and Spanish and French that accounts for this, I think. So as a little bit of encouragement to you, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here is a pie, and French or Spanish is like a custard pie. If we think about it, it's probably easiest to think about years of the language. So the first year that you take this language, French or Spanish, is just a little piece there. You know, you're getting the flavor, the taste of the language. Just introducing. It's the first time you've had this, right? Your second year of it, French 2 or Spanish 2, is a little bit more. There's more to deal with, right? This is not a special effect. I really am eating this pie. Now, something special happens between 3 and 4. As you're studying French 3 or Spanish 3, your pie tips over. Don't worry, it still tastes good. What this represents, though, is the nature of French and Spanish are such that the farther you get into them, the easier it gets. And it seems paradoxical. It seems like that's not possible, but it's true. The more you push into it, the easier it becomes. Like a pie tipping over, there's a point where more and more of the words are familiar to you from your first language, not because you've seen them in French or Spanish, but because of English. And let me explain how this works. We have these languages. So we have English. English is actually a sister language to Dutch and German, but Dutch is almost never taught in American schools, and German is not as popular as it used to be. Primarily, we find French and Spanish taught in high schools, and Spanish is more common, at least on the West Coast, which is where I live. Portuguese and Italian, I don't know if I've ever heard of those languages being taught. I'm sure they were taught in some places, but they're definitely not nearly as common as these two. These are like brother and sister, and these are like brother and sister, and so these are like cousins. They are related, but there's something really special about this relationship that, in particular, these languages across like this, that makes it so that the more you learn, the more you already know. And so the more that you learn, the more an English speaker learns in French or Spanish, the better that person's English becomes, because the most advanced words in English are more likely to be present in French and Spanish. And it's sort of like if you can picture two trees. Their roots are related, they're close, but it's actually up in the upper branches where they're more similar. Okay? Another way to say the same thing is that the most basic words and grammar are the most different. So Spanish 1 and English 1, or basic English, are more different. If you're learning English, then you would say that ELD 1 is most different from your first French 1, or basic French or basic Spanish. What this means, going back to the pie, is that at least in most high schools, you're only required to take 2 years of the language. Well, what happens? What can you do in 2 years? what does 2 years of French do for you? How much can you actually use of the first 2 years of Spanish? Certainly, the most common words and the most common expressions and the beginning of the language. But you haven't gotten to that point where everything starts coming back to you. You get into this flow. You get into this place where you're recognizing, then you'll start recognizing in English words that you read in some advanced literature in French or something advanced in Spanish, and these concepts, like the branches of two trees, are meeting up in the higher levels. In the next video, I'm going to eat the rest of this pie. No, in the next video, I'm going to demonstrate why things that should be really easy are not. In fact, I'm going to talk about children's books and how children's books are kind of paradoxical. We'll talk about this book here, Harry el Perrito Sucio, and why it's not as easy as reading something like say a newspaper or something that not as easy as something that's harder. I know that seems strange, but that's how it is. Thanks for watching.